if Islam wins is a stretch, you know. Islam's big, man. I've never seen Ilia in person, but he seems smaller. I know, obviously, he can knock anyone out. I do think if they fight, Ilia can knock anybody out from 45 to 170. He has the skills, the power, the technique, and but we've just never seen him in there with somebody that big and somebody with that caliber of wrestling.
Bro, he hits mitts like a world champion boxer.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, that's clean. Crispy. Clean.
From Joe Rogan's shocked reaction to Ilia Topuria's intense training sessions to Conor McGregor jumping back into the UFC testing pool and immediately trolling Topuria with edited photos, the UFC spotlight is hotter than ever. Arman Tsarukyan is publicly calling out Justin Gaethje, accusing him of ducking fights, while Khabib Nurmagomedov has firmly shut down any rumors of a comeback. In a surprising twist, Stipe Miocic has quietly transitioned into a new role as a photographer for the Cleveland Browns. It's been a wild stretch in the MMA world, and Conor McGregor's return to the testing pool confirmed through a series of Instagram posts, starting with a photo of a blood tester aboard his yacht, has only added more fuel to the
White
fire.
House, Dana White said, you and John Jones, that's a real deal. I'm going home, I'm going to get the hit down, I'm going to testing me, I'm in the pool. I said, man, I thought that's what the pills are for, jumping in and out. But I'm back in the pool.
He captioned the first photo, blood tester on my yacht, followed by another image of his shoulder with a plaster and the words, blood from the shoulder. But that was just the beginning. Next came a picture of him holding a cup of urine with the bold caption, I piss excellence. Finally, he shared a video clip showing the plaster still on his shoulder, writing, I gave my first blood test. That is what the plaster is on my shoulder. I am ecstatic, I am in shape, all while background laughter could be heard.
How do you think you would be Ilia Topuria? I grabbed him with a scoop of the chest and slapped that little nose off him, yeah? Little ding-dong of a thing he is, yeah? I'm f***ing Spanish. I'm in my bed, bro, yeah? You little fool, I'll cave your head in. You little short-ass tickle, box your jaw in. On sight. I'm in my bed, Spain, yeah? See what happens here.
After confirming he had begun the testing process, McGregor posted an edited image mocking Ilia Topuria, with Topuria's head photoshopped onto McGregor's own body from a previous UFC walkout, complete with McGregor's iconic mohawk in UFC. Geary added no caption, only a series of laughing emojis, and so far, Topuria has not responded. McGregor must now remain in the UFC testing pool for 6 months and provide at least 2 clean samples before becoming eligible to compete again, while Topuria continues to thrive as combat sports gain massive popularity in Spain.
I'm not here for no reason, my man. Maybe Ilia Topuria. Topuria, slap the head off him, no problem. No problemo. Slap him like the George.
McGregor has not fought since July 2021 when he suffered a leg injury during his bout with Dustin Poirier. Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria recently became a two-weight champion and has drawn widespread comparisons to McGregor, particularly for his explosive, striking and meteoric rise at a similar age, prompting McGregor's playful posts as a reaction to the buzz. In another surprising twist, Stipe Miocic has quietly transitioned into a new role, not as a cage-side commentator or coach, but as a photographer and content creator for the NFL's Cleveland Browns. After retiring from MMA in late 2024 following his long-delayed title fight against Jon Jones at UFC 309, Miocic officially traded punches for the camera. Stipe Miocic's first step into this new chapter came when he was named the Dog Pound captain, a ceremonial but fan-favorite role at Browns home games. Initially it seemed like a simple morale boost from a local hero, but soon after Miocic began shadowing the Browns media team, he was spotted behind the scenes with a full camera setup, directing shots, and even offering creative input on content ideas. The UFC legend has now moved far beyond the sidelines, officially becoming a full-fledged member of the team's content crew.
He's had an incredible career, and you know, doesn't diminish who he was at heavyweight and what he's accomplished here. You know, when you think about Stipe, he's made a lot of money. He's been a firefighter. He'll retire with his pension and all the things. Stipe is going to have a great life.
Miocic confirmed it himself while chatting with star defensive end Myles Garrett during a Browns shoot, casually introducing himself by saying, "I'm a content creator now. That's what I do." Fans have loved the transformation, and social media exploded with reactions like "Stipe's got the best life ever," and "only this man could pull off being a UFC champion and the Browns photographer in one lifetime." It's not every day you see one of the greatest heavyweights in MMA history roaming the sidelines with a camera instead of gloves. But for Miocic, the shift somehow feels perfectly natural.
It's not my first fight. It's always been like that. And, I mean, here we are now. So
3 years ago, when you walked out of the Apex after the Francis Ngannou fight, what did you think was going to happen? What did you want to happen? Can you take us back to like that moment in your life and your career?
I honestly didn't know it was going to happen.
Stipe Miocic isn't just snapping photos. Reports say he's actively helping plan content, organize shoots, and work directly with players, many of whom grew up watching him fight. In today's sports culture, where social media and storytelling are more important than ever, Miocic's new role gives him real influence, blending his star power with genuine behind-the-camera work rather than just lending his face to promos. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan has once again sent the MMA world into a frenzy, this time after reacting to unseen footage of Islam Makhachev's latest training camp with a direct warning for Ilia Topuria. He is too dangerous right now. Speaking on a recent podcast episode, Rogan admitted he was both seriously impressed and slightly alarmed by what he saw, claiming that Makhachev is operating on another level in terms of skill, athleticism, and physicality. And if Topuria truly plans to move up to lightweight, Rogan warned he had better be prepared for what he...
That guy, how he makes 155, I don't understand. Every time I stand next to him, like...
Rogan described Makhachev's training as violent precision, highlighting how sharp the champion's wrestling and mobility appeared, especially during live grappling sessions. He's huge, man fast, clean technique, everything's locked in right now, Rogan said, before adding a clear warning. Ilia, I'm telling you, you better be ready. His message to the featherweight champion was unmistakably a move to 155 pounds. Will be anything but a walk.
Last one for me. Earlier today, Islam Makhachev did an interview and said he's not ruling out coming back down to 155. But if it was up to you, would you rather fight him at 170 to get that third title, or would you be willing to fight him at 55 because that's the division that people say he might be the best at?
It would be much better for me to fight him at 170, and I will beat him and get the third title. That will be the best scenario for me.
Makhachev versus Topuria showdown. He's been one of the loudest voices pushing for it. When fans criticized Topuria for chasing a lightweight title shot after only one featherweight defense, Rogan dismissed the concerns, saying, I don't care if he only defended the belt one time. He's a superstar. That fight sells. Make it happen. For Rogan, the appeal isn't strictly about meritocracy, it's about timing, style, matchups, and momentum, and right now, Topuria checks all three boxes. Topuria, for his part, isn't backing down. In a recent interview on Rogan's podcast, which racked up over 1.4 million views in just a day, he made his stance crystal clear. I'm not doing any #1 contender fights. I'm not fighting anyone unless it's for the title. That unwavering confidence has skyrocketed his profile, particularly among newer UFC fans. But it has also sparked criticism from fighters and insiders who argue he hasn't proven enough at lightweight to skip the line.
155? No, I don't agree. Because Islam already give chance, and people talk bad about, like, oh, he fight 2 times with Volkanovski, but the UFC pushed this fight, and this fight was good in first fight. But why Islam have to give 3 times chance for 145 champion? Why? It's not fair for 155 pounds.
Right.
But if he move up and he beat somebody like Charles Oliveira, of course.
One of the loudest critics is Henry Cejudo, who emphasized that a title shot should be earned, not handed out. He's amazing, but this is 155. You don't just jump the line because you had a good run at 145, Cejudo said. Khabib echoed the sentiment in a more measured way, suggesting that Makhachev's legacy shouldn't be risked on fights with unproven challengers at lightweight. Islam is on track to be the greatest. He needs meaningful fights, Khabib said during a Q&A session.
Vacated, right? So that's the difference. So that's the difference now is Topuria is saying, like, I'm no longer at that division. Like, I'm now at lightweight.
With the confidence from knocking out Holloway and Volkanovski back-to-back, he thinks that, hey, I can knock these guys out. But the only fight he's had at 55, he's gotten dropped by Jai Herbert. And then we've seen him get, like, out-muscled and out-wrestled by a couple guys at 45.
Meanwhile, I think the Reddit MMA community focused on a different aspect of Rogan's commentary, the size factor. Rogan repeatedly emphasized how massive Islam looked during training, reigniting the long-running debate over whether Makhachev is a weight bully. However, several fans noted that Makhachev recently weighed in alongside Renato Moicano, and there was barely any noticeable size difference. Others argued that Rogan might simply be more impressed by Islam's presence, strength, and dominance rather than his actual physical size.
The welterweight world champion, for sure I'm gonna push for that shot also, and I will move to the welterweight division.
Still, size debates aside, Rogan's bigger point stands Makhachev is sharper than ever. With back-to-back wins over Alexander Volkanovski and a growing legacy of dominance at 155, many already consider him the pound-for-pound best fighter in the UFC. For Topuria to make a move now is bold, potentially historic if he pulls it off, but undeniably a massive gamble. Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan has had enough of being sidelined. The lightweight contender is now calling out Justin Gaethje directly, insisting Gaethje doesn't deserve a title shot unless he goes through him first. Tsarukyan, who served as the backup for the recent UFC 317 title fight, views himself as the rightful next challenger. But with Ilia Topuria eyeing a jump to lightweight and Gaethje campaigning for his own shot, Tsarukyan has gone public with the pressure, declaring that Gaethje hasn't done enough to skip the line.
He said, meet me at this weight, and they said no.
Yeah.
So I feel like the internet doesn't give this guy the break that he deserves. Like, he never said no.
I think we're in today's society when it comes to mixed martial arts, it's okay for an athlete to say no. The reason why is because, one, this is a business and he's a professional athlete. Why is it wrong if an athlete says that, right? Now, he's just now getting back into training, and now he's going to fight.
With Gaethje hinting that if he didn't get a title fight soon, he might walk away from the sport, but Tsarukyan didn't flinch. He fired back on X with a cutting jab. "Congratulations on an amazing career. Enjoy your retirement." The sarcastic remark instantly made headlines, not only for its sting but also for how confidently Tsarukyan dismissed Gaethje's claim to the lightweight throne.
It's from your own pocket?
No, I can put the bets. I can put like a $500,000 if he beat me. If I beat him, he's gonna give me $500,000. So I can put it that.
Okay, so he's willing to make handshake bets.
If he wants to make that, so I'm down, and we can shake hands, fight. If I lose, I'll give him $500,000.
He hasn't let up since. In interviews and social media posts, Tsarukyan has hammered home his point that beating Rafael Fiziev on short notice isn't a golden ticket to a title shot, it's just one fight. If Gaethje truly wants to prove he deserves a crack at the belt, Tsarukyan insists he should prove it against him first.
Of course I want Islam, but like right now, it makes sense to fight with Gaethje. Because he's coming, he just beat number 11 or 12 Fiziev. He doesn't deserve title fight, that's 100%, because he lost just Holloway, beat on short notice.
But Gaethje's name isn't the only one. Tsarukyan is targeting. He's also made it clear that he believes Topuria is avoiding him. In a recent video, Tsarukyan posted a clip of himself chasing a duck, mocking Topuria and framing him as someone dodging the real threat in the division. The message was clear. Topuria might hold the belt, but Tsarukyan is branding him as a champion looking for easier fights.
What do you think you'll be? Like, I'm curious, because there's a lot of guys.
But Gaethje's name isn't the only one Tsarukyan is targeting. He's also made it clear that he believes Topuria is avoiding him. In a recent video, Tsarukyan posted a clip of himself chasing a duck, mocking Topuria and framing him as someone dodging the real threat in the division. The message was clear. Topuria might hold the belt, but Tsarukyan is branding him as a champion looking for easier
One more
fights.
for you, Justin. Obviously a super interesting time at lightweight right now. A lot going on. This fight will impact things too. Where do you feel you stand? I know you made it clear you wanted a title shot. Are you confident that's coming?
Yeah, I mean that's the fight that I want. You know, obviously I'm biased. I'm gonna fight for what I feel like I deserve. But he feels the same. She feels the same. We're all biased towards ourselves. It's me or Arman. I believe somebody has to fight him this year. I think I'm in a better spot.
This pushback is strategic. Tsarukyan is trying to secure a gatekeeper fight, not only to climb the rankings but also to remove any excuse for the UFC to bypass him. Riding the momentum of his April win over Charles Oliveira, he's determined to back it up by erasing all doubt. Gaethje, with his highlight reel career and massive fanbase, is the perfect target. Tsarukyan knows that beating him would not only solidify his claim to a title shot but also eliminate one of the UFC's fallback options for Topuria's next fight. So, guys, please subscribe to my channel for more updates and breaking MMA news. Thank you.